Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. It is my honor to welcome Marcus Randolph, President and CEO of Invest Newark. Good to see you, Marcus.
Good to see you too, Steve. Thank you.
You got a website, it's up. Tell everyone what Invest Newark is.
So Invest Newark is the official economic development corporation for the city of Newark. We work very closely with Mayor Baraka, with Deputy Mayor Allison Ladd, and economic housing development to carry out the economic development and housing initiatives for the city and on behalf of the residents.
You know, this housing piece, the need for affordable housing in Newark, there's a digital divide. We'll talk about just a little bit about the internet, but there's a housing divide, if you will. There's a whole range of issues that are complex in the city of Newark around property and affordable housing. Talk about what the problem is.
Yeah, sure. So, we need to increase the home ownership rate in the city of Newark. We need to figure out ways to generate wealth via that home ownership program as well. But we also have a number of people who need very, very affordable housing, whether that is rental housing or just an affordable, monthly mortgage. So we're trying to, come at this in a couple of different ways. Obviously, if you've been in Newark, you see a lot of cranes, a lot of tall buildings going up. And that's going to be great for the city. There's going to be some affordable units there as well. We got to make sure that affordable opportunities are being out into all the wards, not just downtown.
We're going to be talking about, I'm going to ask you about land banks in just a minute, but this is part of this segment, part of a larger series we're doing, focusing on urban issues. One huge issue are these land banks, and it's not just in Newark, but it's across the country in urban communities. What is a land bank and why do they matter?
Yeah, great question. So there's it's about 250 land banks operating across the United States. The Newark Land Bank is the only one in the state of New Jersey. And essentially what it does is it allows us to have generally a not-for-profit vehicle that can sort of assemble these properties, essentially bank them and figure out ways to make them useful again, get them back on the tax rolls for the city. What we're doing is we're creating home ownership opportunities with ours, but there's also going to be some other interesting projects. Some market rate will come out of this, but there'll be some commercial property development as well.
So I want to be clear, so everyone understands this. Who purchases the land and puts it in a bank? A not-for-profit?
So we get our properties from the city of Newark. So the city has a log of properties that are either vacant or underutilized, and we get those in tranches, and they move over here to the land bank, and Invest Newark oversees that. Then we figure out ways to get them active again.
And then how are people able to purchase them as often first-time homeowners at an affordable price?
Right. Great question. So there's a couple of ways that can be done. One of them is if a person who is renting an apartment right now has a Section 8 voucher, there is a way to
Section 8. Let everyone know that Section 8 is a section of federal housing law that allows that promotes affordable housing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right, and provides a subsidy for their rent. They can use that voucher once they get qualified to go toward a mortgage. They can become a homeowner while still using that voucher. But we also have a couple of other programs that are specifically designed for first-time homeowners. One of them is called Resident Advantage, and that's if you're currently a Newark resident, you get priority for some of the houses that we're developing. We also have another one that's, again, still for first-time homeowners, but you don't have to be a current resident of the city of Newark.
Mm. Marcus, do this for us. Newark Fiber.
Yes.
I'm curious about this because this whole issue of high-speed, low-cost internet service, so many people watching right now are thinking, like, what are you talking about? We have that. Well, you may have that, but that is not accessible and available to everyone across the state and every community, particularly in urban communities. What are we talking about here regarding the internet, and why is it so critically important to a vibrant, economically strong community? Talk about that.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. It's absolutely critical to build a strong economy. The pandemic really brought it home. We saw a lot of people in the city of Newark who their children could not access the online learning. People could not work from home. They didn't have reliable access to the internet. And then we also know that we do a lot of things now on the internet. I'm talking to you right now on the internet. People have, they talk to their doctors, a number of things. So it's critical. But what we really need to make sure that's available is that it is affordable and reliable. Obviously, there are a number of different ways to get internet access, but studies show there's still a lot of people, not just in Newark, but in Newark that don't have any access, and that poses a real challenge for them just to sort of live day to day.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor this point, but for us to do this programming remotely, we had to make a significant investment as a not-for-profit organization, not-for-profit production company, to try to ensure as best we can that the quality of what we're doing is what it is, that the internet signal, not even a signal, but the internet is strong. But again, that costs real money. And to assume that everyone is able to do that as an individual, much less a corporation, doesn't make sense, and it's not realistic. Real quick, before I let you go, Marcus, you're committed to this work. You're born and raised where?
Born in Morristown.
Morristown, another community that's more complex than people realize. Real quick, before I let you go, you're particularly excited about this work, being someone from New Jersey who cares deeply about urban communities like Newark, because?
Well, good question. Because I'm a New Jersey native. I've always been fond of Newark. My parents have a history of Newark, in Newark, I should say. But for me, I look at it as an opportunity to be of service, to be an advocate for the people of Newark. Newark is our city. And it's everybody's city in New Jersey. We should really be trying to do our best to make sure that it continues to be a thriving city. What's good for Newark is good for New Jersey.
Many years ago, Mayor Ken Gibson, the late Mayor Ken Gibson, was quoted as saying, "Where American cities are going, Newark will get there first." It's interesting. He said it 50 years ago. It's still as relevant today. Marcus Randolph is President and CEO of Invest Newark. I cannot thank you enough. Appreciate it, Mr. Randolph.
Thank you so much, Steve.
You got it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Rutgers University, Newark, PSC&G, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, TD Bank, the Fidelco Group, Holy Name, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, and by IBEW Local 102. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, and by AM 970 The Answer.
Hello, I'm Dr. Luke Ironman, a family medicine specialist at Holy Name. When was your last visit to your primary care doctor? Throughout the pandemic, many patients have put off their annual physicals and screenings, but preventative health care is critical for early detection of illnesses and to avoid future health problems. Your doctor can also help you develop a wellness plan to achieve your personal health goals. Your health can't wait. Be proactive and talk to your primary care doctor today about scheduling your annual physical.